Hello, hello. This is Carrie with Fullerton Professional Organizing, and we're talking about the psychology of clutter. In this podcast, it's going to be 30 reasons you can't let go and how to fix it. You know, clutter isn't just about disorganization. It's deeply connected to our emotions, our memories, and psychological barriers. Many people struggle to let go of items, even when they know it's time to declutter. So here are 30 psychological reasons you can't let go of clutter and practical steps that may help you overcome, okay? And I have struggled with this too. I've studied organizing my whole marriage, and I still have things that I need to let go of, especially here in my craft room and my holiday decor. And we all know I have an addiction to dishes, okay? But my dishes are in nice china cabinets and they look very nice and well organized. As you can see, my crafts are fairly well organized. You haven't seen the rest of my room though. It's a little messy. It could use some cleanup because mostly I have not been using this room for quite a while. I only use it for podcasting, and so I haven't really been using it for crafting, and so it's kind of gotten a little bit messy, and I'm not going to show you that, of course. And my garage is organized, but I really need to let go of some stuff so that it can look a lot more aesthetic, and we can walk around a little freer in there. All right, so now I've let you know there's nothing to be ashamed of. We all have our psychological reasons for holding on to things, okay? But number one is the sentimental attachment. Objects remind us of people or special memories. Now, how we can overcome it may be to keep one meaningful item and take photos of the rest to preserve the memories without the clutter. Now, number two is the fear of losing your identity. Sometimes that is a reason that we hold on to things. Items are tied to who we think we are or we were at different stages of life. Now, understand that your identity evolves, and holding on to old items might be holding you back. You know, God wants us to continue to go forward and not hold on to the past. So sometimes there are a lot of things we need to let go of to keep moving forward. Guilt over waste. You feel bad throwing away something that costs money or maybe was a gift. Maybe your mom gave it to you or your best friend gave it to you. Donate or repurpose. You know, you might feel bad throwing away something that cost money or was gifted to you, but you can donate it or repurpose the item, giving it a new life with someone who needs it. And if, you know, or give it to someone else that loves it as much as you do. Okay, that one was a complicated one, I have to admit. Now, 4 is fear of the future need of it. That's, you know, you think you might need it someday, and if you let go of it, it's going to come back to haunt you because now you don't have it. If you haven't used it in a year, you probably won't. Trust that you'll find a solution if the need arises. And I have told you this before, but another thing that helped me let go is Peter Walsh said, most items you let go of And if you were to find out that you needed it later down the road, you can go to Goodwill and pick up another one. Maybe pawn shop. But most cases, you will not need it if you haven't been using it. Okay? Now, number 5, anxiety about change. Some people have anxiety. Change just brings anxiety. Decluttering symbolizes a big change, which can feel overwhelming. But start small. Tackle one drawer or room at a time. You don't have to declutter all at once. You can continue decluttering. And decluttering is a lifetime journey. Okay? It's not a one and done deal. Another psychological thing is perfectionism. We have fear that decluttering won't be done perfectly, so we just don't start. Well, progress is better than perfection. Start by getting rid of obvious clutter. Start small, just the things that you know you're ready to let go of. That will open up a door for you to start letting go of more and more things as you see the progress. Fear of forgetting. You worry that without that item, you'll forget an important memory. Journaling or taking photos can preserve the memory without keeping the physical item. So that's a solution. You can take a picture of it and put it in a journal and make a little note of the memories. Number 8, lack of time. Decluttering feels like a time-consuming task that you just don't even want to start. Well, set a timer for 15 to 20 minutes each day to declutter in just small increments. And start with the room you're least attached to items, like maybe the bathroom. Now, another reason may be number 9, emotional comfort it gives you, the items. Clutter can create a sense of safety or comfort. Replace the comfort of clutter with organized systems that offer a great sense of calm and peace. Maybe once you experience the calm and peace, it will also offer you comfort. Now, number 10, attachment to aspirational self. Items can reflect who you wish you were. You know, like having fitness equipment because you wish you were fit. Having diet cookbooks because you hope to lose weight. Having skinny clothes because you hope to lose weight. Let go of items tied to outdated goals. Focus on who you are now. Now, number 11 can be family expectations. All right. What do we expect from our family? Keeping heirlooms or items because family expects it. Do we expect our children to keep our heirlooms? Do they want our heirlooms? Are we keeping things because our family expected us to? Talk to family members about your decluttering process. Keep only the most important heirlooms and let go of the rest. Now, there's also a thing called decision fatigue. The sheer number of items makes it hard to decide what stays and what goes. But if you start with the easy decisions and work your way up to more difficult items, it will free up a little of that fatigue. Just start with the stuff that's easy. Every day, 15 minutes to 20 minutes of easy items a day. Now, 13 is a big one. The scarcity mindset. This is really why a lot of people hold on to things. You worry about not having enough in the future. Now, acknowledge abundance. Trust that you'll be able to replace items if necessary. And this is another area where we give it to God and trust Him to keep us in abundance, right? Number 14, fear of regret. You might regret getting rid of something later. Well, keep a maybe box. I call it a quarantine box. I got that from a YouTuber. She changed the name, but where your items, quarantine your items. Store items for 6 months. If you don't use them in that time, or maybe a year if it's a little harder, donate them. If you haven't used them or dug them out in a year, don't even open the box, just get rid of them. Okay? Now, 15 is cultural expectations. Different cultures may emphasize keeping items for symbolic or family reasons. Respect cultural traditions while balancing your own needs for a clutter-free environment. And, start your own traditions. Overwhelm. The clutter feels so overwhelming that you don't know where to start. Tackle one small area at a time. Use the 1 in, 1 out rule or the 1 in, 2 out rule to maintain order in your home. Now, guilt from gifts. I think we kind of hit on this one already. You feel guilty getting rid of something someone gave you. But, you've got to recognize that the sentiment of the gift is more important than the item itself. They gave you a gift. It was sweet. It was wonderful. You said thank you. You loved it. Now you're ready to let it go. Comparison to others is another big psychological reason for clutter. You compare your clutter to someone else's organized home. Just focus on your progress. Remember, progress, not perfection. Everyone's journey is going to be different and at a different pace. Number 19, over attachment to projects. You're holding on to items for unfinished projects. How many unfinished projects do you have? How many unfinished projects do you think you'll finish? You've got to be realistic if it's taking up too much of your space. Be realistic about what projects you'll complete. Let go of materials for those you won't complete. All right, I'm getting thirsty. Take a break for a second. Speaking of, my husband made this cup for me. I don't know if you can see it backwards or if you're seeing it correctly, but I love it. All right. Number 20 is the misunderstood value of an item. You believe something is worth more than it actually is. Now, a lot of us do that because we spent so much money on it, and then over the years you think that it held more value than it actually did. Monetarily, it didn't, but sentimentally it makes you feel like the value's still there. So research the item's value. Often, sentiment clouds our the true worth of an item. Not our true worth, but the item's true worth. Getting my tongue tied there. Now, number 21 is fear of emptiness. An organized space feels too empty or sterile. You're so used to the clutter. Well, reframe your thinking. An open, organized space can be a canvas for creativity and peace. Just reframe it that you're creating calm. Okay? Number 22, avoidance of emotion. That's a good reason for clutter. Certain items stir up different emotions. It's good to work through the emotions rather than avoiding them. Decluttering can be a form of emotional release. Now, number 23 is sentimental clothing. Clothes can be tied to memories or people, like that wedding gown possibly. Keep a few meaningful pieces and let go of the rest. Consider creating a memory quilt or a framed display. I've seen people do that with t-shirts. 24, fear of losing productivity tools. You believe certain items help you stay productive, even if you don't use them. If you haven't used them in the past 6 months or a year, they aren't aiding productivity. Time to let go. 25 is past trauma can cause you to hold on to clutter. Trauma can create a deep attachment to physical items as a form of control. Work with a therapist. If you can, work with a therapist to process the trauma while decluttering at your own pace. But keep in mind, when you do see a therapist, set a goal for when you should have worked through this trauma. Because sometimes the more you talk about the trauma, the more you need therapy, and the more you need therapy, the more trauma, the more therapy, the more trauma. So sometimes it's great to talk about it for a certain amount of time. And even trauma, I know everyone has their different timing, but with God's help, that trauma, that trauma can be worked through, and there can be an ending to it. You cannot blame the trauma the whole rest of your life, because you need to have peace. You need to move on from the trauma so that you can have joy and peace. And that's what this whole process is all about. And trauma can cause us to hang on to clutter. And we don't want to hang on to trauma too long either. 26, fear of releasing control. Decluttering feels like you're losing control. Focus on how decluttering actually gives you more control over your environment. It's a mindset shift, and it doesn't happen overnight, but it can happen little by little. Now, number 27, procrastination. Decluttering gets put off for another day and another day. Schedule decluttering sessions like any other task. Break it into manageable parts. Again, that 15 to 20 minutes a day, if that's all you can do. 28, sentimental papers. Old letters, notes, and papers feel too precious to discard. Scan and store important documents digitally and recycle the rest. Number 29, we're almost done with our list of 30. Clutter as protection. Clutter creates a barrier between you and the outside world. Understand that clutter is a false sense of protection. Create boundaries in other ways. Don't use clutter to shut out the world. 30. Lack of skills or systems. Without proper organizing skills, it's hard to declutter effectively. Invest in learning organizing techniques or hire a professional organizer for guidance. She can also work with you little by little. Now, my minimum amount of time is 3 hours, but if you want to, you can have your organizer come 3 hours a month until your whole house is organized. It doesn't all have to be done at once. All right. Now, what's the hardest item for you to let go of and why? Let's dive into what's really holding you back and put that down in the comments so we can all help each other. All right. That is it for this podcast, guys. I hope this podcast is helping you, and let me know also in the comments if you're really enjoying all of these tips and what has been the most helpful. And if you need help, you can always email me at carrie.fullerton. Now, I will be answering questions in the comments, so that's really the best way. But if you really need some one-on-one organizing, you can call me. This is what I do. It is my business. I do charge for that, but I can help answer some questions in the comments. All right, I will talk to you on the next podcast or YouTube. Talk to you later.